Turn 41. We can pick navigation here. I think we want that for orders. Honored by the faith, sure, we can make the Mankin leader endeared to us, and centralization for some science. So we'll do that. Oh no, it broke my redo stack. Alright, well, fortunately I remember what I did this turn, so we can manually redo it. We'll take centralization, which puts us at 38 science, and we've got this choice of ambassador. Pick this guy because he's got some culture and family opinion is decent, so we don't really care about the family opinion boost right now. We'll endear here. We'll get that started. I'd like to start a monastery here, but that's probably a 10-turn proposition realistically, so probably not gonna do it there. I don't know. We'd have to expand borders. Yeah. Here, since we're on 4 laws, we'll start a stronghold instantly. Move this over here and upgrade. Move this over here and heal. It's going towards that side. We'll start immediately chop and start a garrison here. This Jewish disciple will start a monastery here, and we can start one more Jewish disciple. We'll have 3 hunters, so we'll use the 2 hunter dudes to get legalism and revelation. And then this one, and we'll start 1 Jewish disciple here, just to be able to have family, appropriate family here. We're going to expand monastery to try to get these hills and also potentially bring the elephants into range. With that, we're probably near capacity for workers. We are going to festival here because I want to start specialists, and likewise, we're going to festival here for the same reason. I would like to start specialists here. And should be able to do that. 3 turns, 3 orders left. We are going to rally because I would like some more training. And then we've got 1 last order, which we are going to move that scout there. And that concludes the turn. Yeah, we'll keep moving units to the west, figure out whether we want to juggle here or not. Navigation's 5 years away, so potentially doable. The border boost should also grab it, so maybe we just put it somewhere like here. Honestly, probably easier to manage. There's no other really great tile, and this will potentially give us 1 more quarry site. Start our quarry here. I don't think it's worth upgrading this food right now. I'm very good on food. I need quarries, only 60 stone, and I'm going to be building a lot of barracks and garrisons, so definitely want to prioritize that there. All right, we are off to the races with navigation, and we're getting Ishtar Gate up and running. This guy will probably come back to finish, rather to start the holy site for Mankinism. And this Jewish disciple can finish that there as well here if it ever spreads. Also could just go north. I don't know. We'll figure out which way we go with this Jewish disciple. Just did not have the stone to be able to start it there since it's 200, so it's going off on an adventure. And we also need to start something down here. Just need to figure out where to even put the monastery. Here, maybe? I don't know. So, if we can potentially put a monastery here once we expand with our war specialist, which is probably... yeah, we don't have... Yeah, if we grab here, then we can put a monastery here, which will expand borders nicely. And we're getting this garrison, which will... doesn't actually expand borders that much, but we could expand with another building here of some sort. I think navigation is the right call. We need orders at the moment. We're a little constrained already, despite being an orator. So we'll see what these kids turn into. And that pretty much ends the turn. So I'm going to send this one back. Turn 42. We will accept a courtier into our court. No point getting discipline on a character this old. And we will start a monastery here, since I think I'll grab that with border boost, so there's no point in trying to start a specialist here. Move this over, move that over and heal up. We will start a pasture here. You could bounce and like chop, I guess, but probably easier just to start it. We'll start a warrior here. Scout around here. Hide in that forest. Move that one along. And we're moving the scout over here. Can't see another place, and I only have one move left, so we'll just chill there. Definitely want to get some vision over there, what's going on. Ideally get portcullis up at some point as well. Feel like it's probably more of a priority. Citizenship also a priority. Lots of things a priority. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We've got all our moves here. These can just chill here, I think. No point really. Probably have a little too many of them. I opted to start a warrior here. We're going to end up with 5 cleric workers because this one built the second worker. Probably could have built a warrior there, realistically. But the worker's almost done at this point. And then 4 of every other family, which I think is fine for 3 cities. 2 in the seat, basically, and then 1 everywhere else. We might pump up another one here, maybe. We'll see. Probably we'll get a warrior started just to get some troops up and running. I think I've learned from previous games, different games, that like you don't want to overbuild workers and then not have any army available, especially warriors, which are upgradable into macemen pretty quickly, should the need arise once you get that tech. All right, I think that ends this turn. Next turn we should be able to double tutor, or tutor both these kids. Yeah. So, and we'll see what they turn into. Everyone's still okay here. A ton of civics here. We can only rush in, I guess, here and here. We could rush this festival. Not really worth rushing though, especially since we don't have anywhere to put that officer in. So I think we just sit on our 7 orders right now and save it for something better and turn it into money. We could upgrade some of these forces as well. Might as well. I don't want to upgrade the melee dudes. But I can definitely upgrade the ranged guy. And then here, this guy's already 6 strength, and we're moving one of the melee dudes over there. These guys can show where they are. And this guy will get upgraded when he comes over here as well. All right, I think that ends the turn then. Send him back. Turn 43. Got some events. Could get some stone and become cruel, which is not great. Could spend some food and get some wisdom, which doesn't matter because our leader's pretty old at this point. Or we can just get raw science. We're going to take the raw science. Choice of having our 3rd in line gain charisma, become corrupt, or lose charisma, become righteous. Probably prefer to have the charisma. Corrupt, even if he's a governor of 1 city, isn't that big of a deal. And then the governor's or general is retiring. So we'll quickly resolve those events. We'll tutor, because we need to do that as well. Selling some food to tutor. Here, we will start a quarry since we finished our specialist expanding borders as we planned. Here we'll start a festival. Also go ahead and assign a governor here. Inspiring diplomat with 4 civics seems pretty good. 4 charisma, which will speed up that festival by a turn. I think we should be able to start another specialist here in 4 years. Here we will move this worker that just finished that farm down to this pasture to start our 6th pasture for that ambition. Here we'll move this worker in position to start this amazing 17 stone quarry. Like, holy moly. Just look at that quarry. We'll probably get a specialist there as well, honestly, as well as the marble. I guess we're going like specialist down here. It's fine because we don't have particularly good growth. So yeah, we're just going to repel our way up. Inspiring will also help us get to the next culture level a little faster. But yeah, 17 on that quarry. We'll move this one over here and upgrade it as well. It is now 5 strength. We'll do 1 more upgrade next turn. And then we'll move this guy over. He should get over there as well soon. And then we will rally with our remaining, and we'll start an apprentice monk here with a follow-up monk on the way. Yeah, everyone seems pretty good. In theory, we could influence the Persian pagans, but in practice, I think we're okay there. Especially since she's pretty old. Would love to have one of these 2 become an orator so that we can designate and just have her as governor of this city at some point. Yeah. So I think that's it. We'll do the last upgrade in Shiraz. Cav Shiraz 44. This guy, we didn't have orders to move him, but that's okay. I think I prefer to get the rally. So yeah, excited about getting that quarry online. We should have much better stone production here. We will finish our racks and should be able to start another racks right away. And then we'll have to wait to get that stronghold up and running. We're on 4 laws though, so that's pretty good. Don't have horses here. Maybe we'll get an event for that. Yeah, no other horses nearby. We are starting this pasture, which will help quite a bit. And I'm hearing reports. Looks like there's a raid here. Haven't had orders to move the scouts around. Hearing reports though that Rome is sending has put a ship somewhere. Unclear exactly where. Both hearing from Mojo, which is Assyria. He's pretty freaked out over anchoring. So yeah. Yeah. And then also hearing from Egypt that Rome has docked a ship, has enacted a ship, although I'm not entirely sure exactly where it is. I don't have vision anywhere there, but definitely something to keep an eye on the west, pulling troops there. Okay, so we might see some Rome versus Egypt or Rome versus Assyria stuff. Egypt is also on 4 laws, but only on 5 cities. Assyria is on 9. We're also on 9. We've got 6 years for our Ishtar. And then, yeah, so probably we'll start building some military units here and here once these finish. So we can't get some specialists up. And I feel like we definitely need some military units. Might do 1 more worker here because I think we have, 1, 2, 3, and those 4, 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5 here, and maybe 5 here just to balance it out. But we can decide that next turn. I kind of like 5 workers for a family across 3 cities. That feels pretty good. And we can get some of this stuff up and running. I definitely want more stone income voraciously, especially here. That'll be really nice. Order boost will also help, which should be up in 2. So, okay, let's go ahead and send this one back and see how things continue to evolve. And hopefully we might be dealing with inheritance soon. Hopefully we'll get an orator out of it. Otherwise, I'd probably want to skip a gen. We definitely want to get this ambition done before we do. But we'd love to skip a generation just to, provided we have decent options. So, okay, let's go ahead and enter. Turn 44. We have the choice of diplomat or orator. We will obviously take orator on Barsine and will likely designate her as our heir. And then here we have the choice of spending a lot of money for a little bit of manking as a rep, adding discipline at the cost of charisma, getting XP, just get XP, resolving those 2 events. Here we're going to upgrade this cavalry to 6 strength, move this one closer to range, move that worker from there and start a barracks because we want to make this into a military production city. We will get legalism, the theology with that disciple, since there's no monasteries we can build anywhere because our religion hasn't spread yet, so that's okay to convert that. We will start our 5th hunter worker there. So that will be our 5th hunter worker. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is 5. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clerics. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 as well. We'll probably do another one here in Katura. Once that finishes, we'll move this, start the farm in anticipation of that worker. We will, I think I did queue up another worker there, yep. We will start this mine here to get some culture and money going. Similarly here, chop, and then go ahead and start those nets. Get some culture and money, and pearls are necessary for statesmen. Salt isn't needed for anyone, but we can definitely see ourselves there. We also started warriors everywhere that we don't need additional workers because it's time to get some military production going, especially with Rome on the move. So that's good. We'll start this epic quarry, 17 strength quarry. Should have potentially border boost next turn. Here we will start Iraqs, and then we will convert one of these families. I'm looking basically anyone who's young and not the correct religion. Definitely don't want this family to flip over to Manchanism, so going to start flipping some of the folks in that family since we're floating a lot of civics and have a very happy matriarch. So let's go ahead and do that. I could also convert her, but she's pretty happy and like no particular need to convert her to her state religion. She's going to be great as orator. And she will probably be our designated heir when we're doomed. And then I will scout with 2 moves there and probably start heading towards the north if I can at some point. Yeah, so I'm hearing Rome is essentially attacking Wasset with a bunch of troops here from basically Diplo I've collected from people, but I don't have great vision. It's only a couple units there for Egypt, so we'll see whether he can hold Rome off, hopefully. It would be not great if Rome ends up eating Egypt, and if it does, I will need to move against Rome/Egypt if that falls. And yeah, we'll queue that 5th worker. I think we'll be fine on 5 workers, so 15 workers for 9 cities. That's pretty good with a lot of orders. Navigation coming online next turn. We established legalism. So yeah, I think we are now in the full econ build phase. Curious to see whether border expansion will give it to this city or that city. I can always flip it manually before I improve it though, so that should be fine as well. Yeah, and garrison done in 1 turn here. Won't be able to start the stronghold, so we'll probably build a quarry or something while we wait, because we'll need the barracks to finish before we can start the stronghold, because we don't have an urban tile adjacent there. Probably will start this, just expand borders, I think, especially get that fish in border, and also be able to build a monastery to connect the coast here. And we definitely want to upgrade the miner anyway, so that should be okay as well with our festival. That should be done next turn. So yeah, start miner. 6. Yeah, so the festival will let it finish just to get that culture tick, and we'll start the miner after that. And here, similarly, we will not quite have enough, I think, so we'll probably do a 2nd festival, but we can deal with all that next turn. And yeah, we'll probably get this net specialist up once that warrior finishes as well. Get a couple more military units out. And I think it's worth building this last worker here. So this one will be sacrosanct, this one will be sacrosanct, and we will probably get revelation. West monk or disciple 46, because that will finish, and we might as well just get revelation because we'll have this one here for hunter families, and we'll probably march down here at some point. In fact, it can, but yeah, I guess we could have marched that before. Oh well. I think it's better to get legalism to spread to some more cities. So, all right, let's go ahead and send this one back. All right, turn 45. Just going to play this out normally because I just did and I broke redo, unfortunately. Border boost, so we can take a look at what border boost gives. And we've got colonies as a law, so let's go ahead and pick up serfdom. Actually, do I have anything here? I can do anything. Actually, this is kind of dumb. I can pick up colonies of this, buy this tile, which gives it to this city, which I want, because otherwise, border boost, which I can toggle here, would give this city to, would give this tile to the hunter seat, which is not what I want. At least I think it would. Not entirely sure, since I don't know. I think I would rather pick up colonies right now as a 5th law, buy the tile, which gives it for sure for this folk, and then border boost now. We'll grab some more tiles there and here. So yeah, I think it would have gone to this tile, this city. So yeah, we'll pick up border boost. Anything else we want to buy colony-wise while we have colonies? So yeah, that's actually super interesting. We have Christian disciple, or a disciple here. We could revelation, or we can purge Christianity, which we will do. And we'll go purge it over here next, so we can remind ourselves. Purge, is that R? Turn 46. This worker can just go start here. This worker can go start here. Actually, I think we can optimize slightly and chop, and then go. Can we actually double chop? I don't know that we can. Chop, chop. Yeah, won't be able to reach. We can only chop one of those. It has to be the north one. So chop and go here. Frack! He took my horses. Took my horses. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Took my horses. Just checking in what border boost gets me. I think I can move here and buy this tile, which grabs some borders there. Which then makes border boost grab that. Basically poking around to figure out what can I buy with colonies. Buy that. Colonies, which then changes border boost a little bit, I think, and gets me that. I don't think we had... Yeah, I don't think we had... We were getting that before. Okay. I don't know that border boost changed. I don't know that it's worth buying that one. Pretty sure it's not. We could really min-max with border boost here. I think this one's worth it because otherwise I'm going to have to flip it and piss off those families. So just for that alone, especially since I'm running so many civics, it's worth it. Really disappointed about losing that. Let's see what our cap gets. It gets some forest hills. Forest here. Lots of grabbing here. Some good tiles there. Good tiles there. Pretty much everything we could want. Checking whether this pushes borders or not. It does not. So I don't think it's worth buying that one. That one I think is worth buying because it gets us quite a bit of extra. At least I think it does. Let's double check. Is it me being too fancy here? Right? Yeah, it gets us an extra tile that we won't have, and I'd rather have that tile than not. Anything else we would like to buy? We could buy down here, which will get us this, which is good, because that wasn't going to get grabbed. So that's good. And then I think that's pretty much it. We'll festival here because we want to start a specialist there. This will start a quarry over there probably. But for now, we'll just buy stuff. Yeah, we'll finish that and start that. So pissed at that. So pissed at losing that. Let's double check what we grab border-wise. We grab up to that, unfortunately. I think I can grab this. Does that change anything? Nope. What if I grab the tile west of it? Does that change anything? Nope. I think it's still worth grabbing. It's a good quarry tile. Really sad about that. I guess he must have gotten border boost up and running as well, perhaps. Not really sure it's worth grabbing that tile. I'm pretty sure it's not. So rather save the 50 gold. Move this into here and heal. Allowed here. Does that actually change anything? It gets me these tiles, so I think it's probably worth grabbing that one. Just have a little more visibility this way. I will want to swap back, I think, to... you can't quite buy a tile, right? You go here, it takes an order. We don't have... doesn't really do anything for us. We'll grab it anyway. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for machinations, and we can actually swap to serfdom right away. So we get the orders. And then we will move up to this forest here. Actually, I think I would rather move down to that forest. I don't think it matters. Move up to that. Okay. We need to tutor next turn. Glad about that grabbing. Kind of burning civics, but we got civics to burn, kids. So use them or lose them. And yeah, so that was a 650 civics transaction. And then yeah, if you toggle this card on and off like that, you can actually see which tiles you'll get, which is very nice. Really glad we're going to grab this. This. Grab this inland. These hills, all very good. Yeah. Grab that. This, so all very good. This. Exactly, pretty much everything we'd like. Very, very high value border boost. Yeah, so let's go ahead and send this back. No reports so far from what's going on with Egypt and Rome. So I don't think it's worth continuing to buy tiles. There's really not much more I would like. Don't see anything particularly nearby here. Don't have anything nearby to like expand this to quarry land. Quarries here that I can't even fill. I've got plenty of quarries. I'm not going to be short on quarries. All here as well. Yeah. And yeah, we'll remember to purge Sidar. I think we can potentially get over there in a couple turns. Until like religion spreads somewhere. And we'll revelation here next turn as well. All right, let's go ahead and send this one back. All right, turn 46. My undo stack broke while playing this out, so I'm just going to play it out again. So we've got a choice here: admin, spoked wheel, phalanx, all things that we want. And then the last one is doctrine, which sure, no time to get doctrine right now. Since we're on 5 laws and we'd like 2 more, these 2 are just the easiest. So we'll get rhetoric and sovereignty. Citizenship is far away, so we're just going to get the cheapest 7 laws that we can, especially with this only 6 years away from strong, which means we can upgrade there once we get that citadel. So let's go ahead and take admin. An event here. He could become endeared, but we're skipping to Barcine. We're also going to have serious money issues as soon as our 5 discipline leader is gone, so that's going to be something to keep in mind. So we're just going to go ahead and give him XP. And then he has drunken misconduct. We could piss off all our families for 40 years. For 20 years, for 40 opinion, that feels really rough. And he can still get some bad affix, or we can just have him become slothful. That's fine. He is clerics, so he can, like, we're probably not going to have him be military production. Not sure. And then here we can produce 1,000 food. That should be doable. 1,000 food is not too hard to do, since we're producing 157 food a turn. So that's about 7 turns to get an ambition. That's pretty good. All right, here I'm going to get in position to start another wonder. I want to start the Zig. And I will sell some stuff to do that. But first, let's go ahead and move this one over here, and we'll remind ourselves to purge Sidar. Next turn. And then here we can go ahead and start a quarry. Here we can go ahead and come north to just chill there. And we will likely start a monastery as soon as it spreads there, since it's a cleric site, and that these 2 are, so we just want to be in range for wherever that spreads. And speaking of spread, we're going to go ahead and grab Jewish Revelation here, which will increase our spread rate to now 43%, which is quite nice. Remaining worker, that one's waiting to start. Here we're going to go ahead and start this, and then here we will go here, chop, and start a quarry here for 11. We do want to tutor this dude, So we will sell some iron and tutor via Cato, because that gives us the best wisdom and charisma. And then we have just 2 orders left. We could assign a governor here. Probably good to do so. Judge governor going to be very, very, very valuable. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we can assign a Jewish disciple here, and potentially we can rush it with civics if we so desire. However, I noticed we forgot to pick up serfdom last turn, so we're going to do that to get some additional orders. And here we can rush for 18 orders. We might have enough orders, so we'll do 1 turn of production and then rush with orders next turn. That's, I think, better than burning civics that we are actually kind of a little light on, since we're going to need 800 for 2 more laws. Oh, and then here I forgot, I will buy 1 order, and I will sell down. I'm going to sell down to 800 food, and then basically sell even until we get, how much is it? It is 2100. So we'll sell pretty even here. 1, 2, 3. I just want to keep this relatively even. 2100, 2109. Sure. Why don't we just take this down to 600 for each? I want a little bit of buffer. And then we start the zig here, which also drains our civics a little further. And yeah, once she dies, we are going to have serious money issues. But we started this Jewish disciple, assigned that warlike governor, so she's going to be great for a long time. That's exactly where we want her to be. All right, I think that's it. We can consider potentially converting folks with her. This family in particular is, I think the statesman family is in particular at risk of converting to Mankianism, which will lose 100 opinions. That's still okay. So yeah, maybe something worth considering. We could have also not chopped and saved ourselves buying that order. Whatever. I think we'll roll with it. I don't really want to replay the entire turn again. So we will start, this worker will come over here, start Marble, Cyrus, 47, and it'll actually be 48 that we actually start it. Starting Great Zig, I think, is worth it. It saves us so much because it's minus 20% on every improvement, including garrisons and barracks and everything that you possibly want to build. It's just really, really nice to have, and it's still on the board. It's better than Necropolis, and we're not strong yet. And we'll eventually want to pull this back as well. I hear Egypt is getting attacked by Assyria and Rome. Rome is similar to me, which is kind of terrifying. And Assyria is similar to me as well. So that's scary. And look, there's some chariots from Assyria, so we need to definitely start focusing on military buildup here. We've got our monastery up and running. Definitely want to get this gold up and running. Definitely get some more stone up and running. I think we're actually mostly okay on stone. Probably want a little bit more. But yeah, we are definitely in the last eco here. Yeah, and I think Zig here is going to be very nice to get as well. If Oracle was on the board, definitely would have taken it, but it's not available in this game. And then probably Colossus-ish, but Colossus requires water, and this strong city is not gonna have anything on the water that's strong. So this is still a long way away, as is this. Ishtar will help quite a bit as well. So I think that's it for this turn. We're going to go ahead and send this one back. Just note, it's actually not a Jewish disciple that I want. I want a Mankian disciple, which I can only build in the holy site here. So glad I checked that. All right, that's it for this turn. Turn 47, just going to play through this manually. We are not going to marry a 60-year-old Vandal. We'll make our husband endeared. The choice here, we could spend some money and some orders to get some civics, which actually is super nice. So let's go ahead and do that. The follow-up event, I think, has a chance of firing and may give you a chance to increase your wisdom. My ruler's pretty old. A chance to potentially gain some science, but not very much. I think I'd rather just take the civics now, which will allow me to rush this out. which I didn't quite have enough civics to do last turn, or didn't want to spend, so I'll rush that out. I don't want to burn 15 orders on it. It's still a lot of orders. I don't really have that many orders, and I've got a lot of moves I want to make. So here we are going to festival, I think. Potentially, yeah. We could also Palton, the world's slowest Palton. But may be useful. 10-year Palton, though, feels kind of rough. I think I'd rather festival and get the ore up and more specialists up in this city. So I think military production-wise, I'm going to be focusing on the cities that have horses. So this one does not, but I'll still get production up here. This one does. This one does. Yeah, and I don't know that it's worth hard building the world's slowest Palton. Maybe. Maybe we hard build the world's slowest Palton. It is also 21 orders to rush. We are not going to persecute, but in fact, even before that, we're going to cancel that event. So this guy is going to come all the way down here to start a monastery down south. This dude's going to hop into these borders and purge it. And that cancels the event, so we don't take any downside. Here, I think I'm going to go ahead and start the Shrine of Mithra. And we will start a worker here. Sorry, warrior there. You can also get spoked wheel and get some chariots up and running, honestly. That might not be bad. Let's start the world's slowest Palton Cav. I think that's doable. We'll probably eventually bring this disciple up there. Might rush it out late with orders or something. We'll see. Here, I want to definitely start that. Over here, we're going to come all the way down here to chop, and we'll get the food up because it's pasture, so it gives us some orders. Over here, we're just going to move towards that to start the marble there. And here we are likewise going to festival here. Actually, no, we're going to get a specialist up there. And then over here, we are going to chop and start that. Let's see, that leaves us with just a few orders left. Everyone's being tutored. We can pull this guy back and heal him up. That seems reasonable. And yeah, we can plan out, this is a racks here. We'll probably build another racks here. Stronghold here. A garrison there. Here, we can potentially build racks. I think it's probably worth hybridizing this city and getting some military production up and running in it. So we'll probably start some raxes and get some more monks up in that city. This city won't be building racks. This one we've already planned out. This one we will likely do a racks here, lying around the coast, racks here, and a garrison here with a stronghold here eventually. And this city, which also has some stuff here, we can probably do racks here, garrison here, racks here, and stronghold there. I'm not sure we'll have quite enough training to support 1, 2, 3, 4 military production cities. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3, 4. This is potentially 5, but we are facing a learned Assyria. Egypt's points have fallen, and I believe Wassa is now under Roman occupation. So that is probably the end of Egypt. So that's another reason to get this Palton Cav started. So we can't start it anywhere else, and we might as well get it started here. That way we'll have something to upgrade for 7 laws if needed. And we'll start this monastery up there as well. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We did purge Sadar. This disciple is probably going to chill on that monastery / somewhere chill around here. This disciple is going to move all the way down here and start a monastery down here somewhere. Seems like a fine place to start here. Yeah, could even put it here for the grove bonus. Not a bad idea. Not really significant, but might as well. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this turn. Yep, I think that's pretty much it. And I think it was worth rushing with civics here. And we can always rush with Palton, the Palton out with Civics, if needed, gives you a lot of optionality. Question here whether we should be going for spoked wheel. I think I do want admin. 7 laws is going to be more significant, and we're very close to strong here. So getting that citadel and being a lot very Paltons is going to be very, very powerful. And we'll be able to build Paltons here. I think the shrine is the right call here, but we'll definitely want to start the garrison and racks soon here so we can get some specialists up and running. And likewise here, these will probably just be resource extraction cities. These 3, and this will be a civics pump. This will be a military production, and this one kind of be a hybrid, do everything. We'll pull that disciple up there, get an elder monk in there, and get some more science running in that city. Yeah, not really great. I mean, we could also just festival, but honestly, I feel like I need that Palton Cav in case Rome comes calling. I just really want to have. Don't know what's going to happen on my western front, and it can't hurt. And also, we see this city has fallen, presumably to Assyria. So things are happening around here. We've got some 6 strength ones, but definitely can't hurt to get a little more on the front lines here. We're well on our way to our ambition. Probably should be doable in about 6 years or so. Everyone's pretty happy family-wise, so that's pretty good. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and send this back. All right, turn 48. We are going to actually go get Paulus here. I feel like I really need money, and I will eventually want forestry because she has 5. I don't know whether I will go through and designate my orator as my heir. I am getting a bunch of orders from the orator, 9 specifically. So maybe I can run with the scholar, actually. Getting some extra science from that scholar could be very good. In any case, we will take this charisma boost here. I'm going to go ahead and rush this out for 16 orders. Going to see, we lost those horses. I'm going to start a garrison here, I think. Logic being, I really need to get the garrison up. This is going to finish soon. 1 turn on Ishtar, which means that I could get a stronghold here once I have the garrison. So I really want to start that garrison, especially since it's probably going to be my primary Palton production center. We are going to go here and purge Christianity. Just do not want events from negative Christianity. Since they really hate my guts. We're done with all our theologies, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and start a granary here. Actually, I'm not sure about that granary. Let's hold on that granary. It is really nice. Right, it gets me a bunch of growth in this city. So I think it's usually worth starting granary next to 2 crop resources. I think so. Definitely worth that. It'll give me more specialists, which is just lots of good feedback loops. Christianity spread here. Since we're at 6, I think I may not. Yeah, it spread here. Or sorry, Judaism spread here. So we'll definitely want to get a monk down here to start a monastery, likely here. I would like to move this one over here, I think, probably. Get another river tile and get a river forest tile and get a set of mines up and running. Alternatively, I could build it here, grab these 2. Although if I ever put an ore specialist here, I'll grab those 2. So I put it here to grab 2 more hills. Yeah, maybe here is the correct call. We're a little short on orders at the moment. We're going to start this stronghold. Don't have the money for it. We're just going to sell to enable that. We do have that food resource there. And then this worker will also start Iraqs, which we also don't have the money for. So we will buy. This is why I'm like, we're slowly running out of money, and it's going to drop very quickly. Then I'm going to move this onto this. Oh no, this guy needs to come down here to start a monastery. And this guy needs to come down here to start a monastery. And this guy needs to come over here. So priority-wise, I think that guy's the highest priority. This is the second highest priority, because I would like to enable a monk here. as quickly as possible. And then this one is the third highest priority. Yeah, so let's move that. And maybe move this along the way. Let's see, how can I make it so I can do this in... This needs 2 moves. I'm just trying to math it so I can start both monasteries next turn. Yeah, if this guy goes here, then next turn he can reach here. 3 moves. And this guy, if he goes to the exact same spot, what can he reach here? He can reach 1, 2, 3, can't reach it. All right, well then, it doesn't matter. It's going to take that guy 2 turns no matter what. It's okay. Yeah. And then here I'm going to start an apprentice officer to get some more science up and running. Here I will likewise start an apprentice officer. And here I will start an apprentice monk. Because it's a good specialist to build. It gets me some nice science. Alternative 2 is to just get a quarry running, but I think I'd rather get the monk. Always good to get some civics and culture. Although this is a resource extraction city, so maybe it really should just start extracting resources with the stonecutter specialists, honestly. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. Although building a bear specialist feels so terrible. So let's just say apprentice monk. So really not sure about that one. Going kind of back and forth. Egypt is much weaker and competent. Fluffy is similar and naive, not primitive. And Mojo is similar and learned. So yeah, and we will likely start a Rax here as soon as we can, and then follow it up with Rax here, and then the stronghold. It's going to be a long amount of years, so definitely good to have this Pelton here. We may need another Pelton as well. Unfortunately, we have orthodoxy and a lot of orders, so we can make that happen. I think that's pretty much it for the turn. I think Polis is the right call. We're going to need money. Maybe. We're getting 80 from our queen alone. It's generally good. So Polis, yeah, I think I'd rather have Polis right now. It can also grab me some more borders, potentially. I think I'll want exploration. I want exploration so I can get some roads up to internal road network this stuff. Something like that. And then here I think it's something like this. Road, 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 road. So 4 road tiles eventually, which will connect everyone. These cities just need to be connected, and this city needs to be connected, and then this movement across. So that's pretty good. I keep going back and forth. If rhetoric was an option, I would have taken it because I really want sovereignty. I think Polis is a good choice. I don't really need drama right now. And yeah, if I ever want to support ranges and compo, I'm going to need forestry. So I guess drama is towards Portcullis, but the sooner I can get hamlets down, the sooner they pay themselves back. And yeah, I definitely am going to need money as soon as this ruler is gone. Right. Yeah, not sure about this apprentice monk, but I think it's probably fine, especially since I do want to get constitution. I'd rather have the apprentice specialist over a rural specialist. And we'll get a monastery here started, and a monastery here, and a monastery here, I think, to grab some more hill tiles. And then here we will likely we're probably actually going to get racks up in this city. Yeah, because I want... I'm going to need to produce out of this city, realistically. For now I can rush, but I need to produce out of this city. It's going to be like a hybrid super city. It's not going to be a civics pump. I don't think I can afford to. I can't wait just for that city to come online, and it's just too good with the mine in the pasture there. We're going to just have to build pelotons of it. Because we don't really have anywhere else to build pelotons. It's here. And then this city is great, double ore, but no horses. So if we ever see an event to get horses in this city, we are so getting horses in this city. And this city has horses, but double marble. But we don't want to build out of that. So, yeah. So if this city has horses, we'll get stuff up here as well. So, all right. We'll keep an eye on our resources. Yeah. And, all right. Let's dither around this turn a lot. Let's go ahead and send this one back. Turn 49, approximately a bazillion events because we finished Ishtar this turn. Look at all these events. Amazing. We'll finish that. We'll take the legitimacy. We can have our granddaughter marry the commander because the diplomat would be awkward. And we can better take the hit. Our orator diplomat marriages just are not great, so we'll take the commander. I think I want to rush out another Peloton. 18 orders. I think it's pretty much worth it. Alternatively, we could start a miner here and not rush out a Peloton. Let's think about that one. Let's see what else we can do. Definitely want mounted units here. XP. So we could get 6 additional orders here and get ourselves a scout to see what's going on in the west. That's probably better. Here, I definitely don't want Zoroastrianism to spread, so I'm going to say no. And here, I don't want either of these to spread, so I'll take the civics. This dude is converted. He wants to leave. He's an orator, warlike. Definitely don't want to switch my state religion. Could make him disappointed, which is minus 90 opinion. Not horrible. Always nice to keep a courtier around, although I don't have any kids yet to tutor. And I've got this pretty young one here with horrible wisdom score. So we could get another court minister. It is a judge, which is amazing. I think I kind of want to keep him. I don't know that like getting that much extra charisma would be valuable, although she is severely ill and still kicking. So why not? We can get some science here. So let's do that. And I do think I would like to get some elephants up, or not elephants, some lavender, because I don't have lavender available right now. So we can rush this potentially, a Peloton cav here. We are 93 civics in this city. Let's see what we can do order-wise first. So we've got this disciple. We said we want to move it over here and start a monastery. We said we want to start a monastery over here. And we would like to bring this down here to start a monastery as well. Make that move and finish next turn. We can chop, and start a quarry here. And it's 18, right? Yeah, 18. So we'll keep that in mind. This worker, I think we want to start a Rax. Swap to the right view to do that. This worker, we can start a quarry. This disciple can just chill. We haven't had any religious spread, right? We're still on 6 cities, yep. Here we can likewise start a quarry. If we just hover over, we see that this is a great quarry spot. And we can, move this guy over towards here. But we can just do that next turn. That one can chill as well. Got that lavender up and running. I think we will take phalanx at this point to get towards our friend's citizenship. So that's good. We're okay on civics. We could also rush this with civics if so desired, but we'll rush it with orders. I think that's fine given where we are. And we have a scout here. move all the way over here and harvest these horses, and then play exploration games to the west to see what the heck is going on over there. That leads us to this disciple and this disciple, which is okay. We got a stonecutter here, so we can festival here. We're going to want to get that up. This is in 2 turns. That will not be enough. That'll be 40. So that will be... we'll need another festival as well after that. That's fine. We'll definitely want to get that marble up, as well as getting this monastery up. Okay, that is a pretty huge turn, largely because of the Ishtar finishing. We're now screechingly point leader at 21. It would be really interesting to get, if we can, Acropolis in here, largely because it gives you 2 civic space per year per religion. So yeah, that would be enormous in terms of the civics boost to the city. But right now I think we definitely want the additional Palton calves while we're floating so many orders. Actually, I do wonder, yeah, I think I don't want to quite move that scout. I do want to start this festival. And those 6 orders from one of those events helped. I think the other chains, you get a potential slinger or warrior, not that big of a deal, and I do want the scout. But actually more important, I think we need to make sure our families stay the right religion. Which means we need to get this family back. So these guys are very clearly Jewish. These folks are at risk of flipping, which is a problem. Because I think, yeah, so we can always flip the youngest. She's our minister. We can have her convert, make sure the statesmen finish, stay the right religion, and then we also convert hunters back. Turn 51, potentially. And now we can move this scout. Over that way. That disciple can just chill. Won't have a harvest, unfortunately. Yeah, that actually is inefficient to move it that way. We'll take an order that we don't need to burn. Eventually build quarries up there as well. I do think it's worth grabbing this. I do think it's worth getting specialists up here. We're definitely going to want a bunch more. We'll get officers. Hopefully she can recover from being severely ill. Yeah, she's amazing right now. Single-handedly carrying our empire forward, but at 40, at 66, who knows how long she can keep going. Think we can scout here? No. We'll just push out and hope. I don't think Assyria will come and kill my random scout here, so it should be okay, and we'll get some vision of what's going on there. And that ends our turn. Those other scouts will probably chill. I do think I want to get Portcullis at some point. Metaphysics may be necessary as well for cartography, once we get that up as well, especially since some folks are learned. So, never got wisdom on her, which is of course not great. But we have enormous civics production, so the ziggurat coming in at 7. Acropolis is, of course, 1,200 stone, so that is a lot. We will want to start nolegskitten next turn as well. Potentially rush again. We'll see. Definitely want to keep our Palton calves available potentially. Lots and lots to do. Yeah. Definitely shaping up to be a pretty interesting game, and we are now point leader. But I think it was worth it for all those Ishtar options, and now we have a ton of civics income, and we can rush anything, anywhere, should we so desire. 2 more laws to 7. We will get the Citadel up and running as well as soon as we can. So, we don't have 7 laws right now. Rhetoric and sovereignty are do we want? So maybe we should actually free worker. It is just one worker, but it will cycle faster for us. And phalanx, like, I don't want citizenship as a law, do I? It'd be really nice. Could be. Legal code, very, very strong. Helps our civics income. Don't need the order boost. Yeah, I think I do want to stay with phalanx. Lets me upgrade all those dudes potentially, if need be. Oh, would the worker do? The worker would start another Rex. Yeah, I think given our goal, 7 laws is key prio, and it's actually worth taking the free worker, because it gives us a shot at rhetoric next turn, or doctrine. Feels like such a waste taking a free worker, though. Maybe we'll just take phalanx, honestly. We will want it eventually. So, yeah, I don't think it's worth the tempo loss on that. Yeah, it'll speed up, but we're going to have to cycle anyway with rhetoric and sovereignty, and citizenship is totally viable as a law, as is doctrine. So, okay, exciting turn. Hopefully we can hang on a little bit more. Severely ill, but not doomed. Very awkward that family has converted for us. Hopefully the statesman won't convert too. We are losing control over our religious set. It's tanking our orders, but that's okay. We do have navigation and serfdom, so okay there. So, yeah. Start this monastery. We might actually start it here, honestly. Although technically here is better because it'll give me the bonus to groves, right? 60% for groves. So yeah, we probably want to grab that. We probably want to grab land consolidation at some point, as well as compo. All these texts we want. Yeah. So, but I think prio right now is getting towards 7 laws. Phalanx is one way. It'll give us a choice of citizenship, doctrine, and sovereignty in our next draw. And rhetoric, so 7 laws, pretty good. It is going to be a rocky transition. Or hard building this. I think that's okay. No point rushing at this point. Yeah, so we'll probably quarry here and here. Here as well. Styles, basically. Eventually we'll want ranges. You can build them along the coast here. Range. Along the coast, honestly. Range. Whenever we get ranges. Similarly here, that's a Rax, that's a Rax. We could build the ranges here, for example. Citadel could go. Potentially here. Those two are the ranges. That's a Rex, that's Citadel here. Okay, not sure why those are floating weirdly, but we'll worry about that another day. We'll harvest those horses. Should have sufficient orders. I don't know that I'll be able to rush next turn realistically. I think it's going to be time to get 4 up next turn. So metaphysics might be nice for converting as well. So festival, and then probably try to get a specialist up there. Okay, let's go ahead and send this one back. It was a long and involved turn, but that's what happens when you complete Ishtar. All right.
Hello, hello. So turn report on turn 50 for FFA. So I've decided to double down on urban specialist by going for composite bow to get additional ranges. On the international situation, I'm receiving veiled threat, which I'm not sure. Maybe it is Mojo best attempt at diplomacy, but but he's not very good at it, I guess. So he's threatening in the same message. So Mojo is dangerous. He's 11 cities to my 7, and he forward settled me quite aggressively with his champion seat here. His capital is here. His first expansion was there, and this is quite a bit closer to Babylon than it is to Assyria. And I assume there are other sites everywhere, so I'm not reading too much into that. We have informal agreement with Frederik that to let each other in peace, so I conceded this city to him, so he's on 8 city to my 6 at the time, 7 now. But we have okay relation, and well, we allied in the last game, so I guess we can work together. I'm not too threatening anyway with my few cities, and as we were among the players who were picking last for nation, we are denied clerics and all that, so we kind of have to stick together a little bit. I got this awesome city, 3 furs, so I'm going to make it an economic city. I'm getting my 3rd trapper with a judge, and I might well actually put my king as governor, because turns out 14 discipline is awesome, so commander wasn't what I was aiming for, but it's still quite good. It's currently cleaning up some Numidians around here. I need this site and I need to keep exploring, but yeah, I'm no schemer, no orator, so I don't have great order economy. Overall, my core development is going fine, so let's have a look at a few of the graphs. That's what my science is looking like. So I'm on plus 56, on turn 50, not too bad, not great, but not too bad. Money is quite good. I started with a builder, and my current leader is not a builder, but is 14 discipline, so I still have I'm still generating awesome money. You can see that Borsipa is already generating over 200 money, and that will be with my king as a governor. That will be an awesome multiplier. So I'll still rush probably the treasury actually, and I'd really like to put the miner as well while I have a judge, but because hunters are not very good at generating this kind of stuff. But after that, I'll want to move my judge around, probably here if I get a garrison, or here. That probably won't be a hunter city though, so to rush more specialists, or simply go back to Durathara. I'll have composite bows, so I'll be starting ranches around here quite soon. For additional urban specialists, I have 2 elder officers here that I made with my judge. In Uruk, I'm getting some specialists, but they are just rural specialists now, so nothing great, but still he's decent money, and still 2 science because he's sage seat, but I really want some urban specialists, so I'm getting a shrine here, and I'll make a holy city of it for an additional +2 civics, so with the shrine that will be +4, and yeah, I'll be pushing civics a little bit in this city, but I'll want more urban specialists, so I'll need to make barracks and ranches and all that. I went for forestry quite early, so I'll have good wood production. I'm making lumber mills along the river. I have plenty of great sites here and there, and the goal from now on, science-wise, will be to go for the bottom of the tree if I have a choice. Pick aristocracy, rhetoric, sovereignty, get to 4 laws, start pumping out academic archers, so I'll want plenty of wood and whatever I can get my hands to rush. Civics or whatever I can. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go for Cimmerian, because that's quite a ways away. Of course, they are excellent units, but I think I'll be producing academic archers this time to be able to have a bit of pressure. And yeah, if I can develop peacefully and gain more cities, I'll do that. But I won't shy away from fighting Mojo if he feels like it. If it's necessary, it's necessary. I'll have to do it. So He's got cleric, he's learned, he's similar to me in strength, but he was stronger not too long away, so not too long ago, so I'm quite sure he's still on top. I think this is his starting leader, who's still a skimmer. Pathfinder with Hunter is very good. Thankfully intolerant. So we'll see what comes of that. And I haven't met very many people. Sporadic communication with alcaras. And I hadn't realized that Wathet was getting captured by tribes. No, it's just getting captured. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the fighting. Probably Rome is busy killing Egypt, if I had to guess. A Rome-founded champion is a fearsome fighter very early on. Don't believe whatever people say that Steadfast is useless and that champion are a low-tier military family. If you want a free piece of advice, and yeah, that's where we are. So developing slower than I'd want. Nothing great. I got a wonder with the hanging garden, which is helping bushwalker and settlers when I need them. Nothing great, but nothing bad either. It's a plus 20% growth added, and the plus 20% from Babylon means civilian units are cheap, always. So we'll see about that. And yeah, in terms of tech tree, I'll be going toward my my unique units next. And I really want Constitution as well for the science. So yeah, that's it for me. See you in 1060.
If things were looking bad for Egypt before, they're looking dire now. Welcome back. I've managed to lose 2 cities in the past 10 turns. 1 to Assyria and 1 to Rome. I messed around and I found out. I moved all my units up to the Assyrian border, mostly because I had an excess of orders, and I would want them over there at some point, right? I think I actually did hit his city with one of my slingers. And of course, the turn after I did that, a boat appeared from Rome and started pouring units into my capital. It took me a couple of turns to walk my army back across, by which time Wasat had fallen. Although we were able to briefly retake it, but we had to fall back to Zhao, which is now also on the brink of falling. Although it looks like we have managed to hold, it will be difficult for Fluffy to kill all of the units I've got piled up on the river there, and he doesn't have enough damage with just the slinger and swordsman to take the city. I've got one of my unique units in there, and it's 5 strength, and it's one of the critical things that I think he wasn't anticipating, that I would be so close to 4 laws in my unique unit. And I think he probably saw the long lag between his troops landing and me responding as a lack of units in general, rather than all of my units being in the wrong place. Assyria did respond to my aggression and did take Gehem off of me. I didn't really resist at all. I figure that the easiest way to avoid being double-teamed here is to only fight one of them. And between Gehem, a city with no improvements, and Wasat, my capital and half of my economy, I would much rather have my capital back, thank you. In terms of tech, I don't really have a plan now. I was intending to go up to 7 laws, but now that all of my civics are going to go into rushing out my unique unit and spearmen in order to fight off Rome, I don't really know what I'm going to tech. So I'm going to, right now I'm picking up a order boost, which should help in the conflict, and after that it may be things like free units or even free resources, just to try to help in the short term. The long term doesn't matter if I cannot hold, if I cannot retake my capital. We should probably have a brief look at the statistics. They're pretty grim. The loss of your biggest city will do that. But here they are. At this point, I'm still hopeful in my ability to retake Wasat and get back into this game. But in retrospect, there isn't really a lot of hope for that. He has invested too much in this attack to give up, and I cannot afford to give up one of my 4 cities. I hope I'm not giving away too much when I say that this conflict will still be going on turn 60, when you will hear from me again.
Turn 50. All right. We are going to scout here, grab these, go over there, oak here. We'll start a monastery here since Judaism did spread. It's great. Chop, chop. Get some nets up here. Over here, I'm going to start a monastery here because I want the free chop because I'm really short on wood at the moment. Chop and start quarry here. And then we have 5 orders left. I've talked to Mojo. He's going to let my scout pass through his lands. I want to get eyes on Babylon. And then I'm going to move this scout as well. And then I'm going to do a miner here. And I did designate Barcine as my heir. Thought about this quite a bit. And I think I want the Orator. She'll need to convert. But that should be doable. This 45-year-old is going to be a little bit too old. Only one person getting bypassed, so she's going to die because she's doomed, unfortunately. I thought about rushing a Pelton here. I don't think it's worth it. And with the Orator, I preserve the chance to be able to rush Peltons in the future with orders, which is very valuable. But I want to get production up in this city and get some specialists up in the city. We'll be trying to get wisdom up on her. She would have been great, but like I'm not ready for... the city doesn't actually have that much base civics. A lot of it is my leader. 182% multiplier. So it's better to get the Orator in there for now, and then look towards a 3rd leader. That will be my Science to the Stars leader. We are behind where I'd like to be in science. So, all right, I think that's it for this map, this turn, and I'm going to go right into the sit rep after this. All right. Turn 50, situation report. All right, so let's catch up what happened in the last 10 turns. We discovered aristocracy. We'll go back here. I really expanded boundaries a lot. Still a little bit of vision from scouting, not much else has changed. Established legalism and revelation. We're done there. Started the ziggurat. Finished ambition for 6 pastures. Got navigation. Got admin. Met Greece. Finished Ishtar. And discovered Polis. We're currently on our way to Phalanx. Trying to get towards citizenship. Even potentially scholarship. If we have bandwidth for it, we'll see. It's just one 600-point tech. Can actually scale up quite a lot of science, so it might be worth the detour for that. Our leader is doomed. We have designated Princess Barcine as our successor to keep the Orator chain going. She is 24 and does not have a kid yet, but hopefully will provide a child. We are skipping the scholar generation, largely because I thought quite a bit about it. And yeah, 45. Let's say she lives 20 years. It's got a lot better to get someone younger. We have 1,000 food ambition, which we will just finish. just in time, 150. So we should be able to grab that right and get the 10 legitimacy right before that, which will make up for the legitimacy we lost from abdicating. Or rather from designating the heir. But I think it's worth it just to keep the order chain going. The orders will enable us to continue rushing Peltons if needed, and later cataphract archers if needed. So succession pretty secure once Barcine has some kids, but we've got lots of grandsons. And basically the family tree, we can switch there. Barcine is right here. We've got a pretty good family tree from our 2 daughters. Especially Parasitus has had a lot of kids, so that's pretty good. We have not really had time to marry all these off, and since they're nieces and nephews, we can't, so our lines might end, but lots of folks in the family tree. Ambition-wise, we'll be looking to pick up another ambition relatively soon, although we probably want to get at least the 100 XP strength, maybe even the 200 XP strength very soon before we do. So we'll also be keeping a close eye on legitimacy, because we are going to lose quite a bit. That noble will go down by 35 or so, which should be fine. We're going to need to convert this family back, and Barcine herself will need to convert as well. So we might have some touch and go with family opinion, but should be all right there. Tech-wise, We are going for phalanx here, and basically trying to get to 7 laws. Phalanx, rhetoric, sovereignty, citizenship. That'll get us to 8, actually. So we just need 2 out of those 3, but we want to maximize our chances. And then likely we'll go for portcullis for some science, maybe scholarship for some more science, or maybe just scholarship instead of portcullis. Can try that strategy, although I really think I want portcullis for the vision. And barding, we're going to try to go science capital Parsa, as well as some production potentially with getting racks up here as well. We did opt to not take the free worker. I think that's still the right call. Although eventually, if we had a builder, it might have been worth taking the free worker. Although with a builder, we can also pump out a worker pretty quickly ourselves. Law-wise, we are on 5 laws, which I believe is leading in the game as far as out of people I've met. Egypt is on 4 and currently being conquered by Rome and Assyria. And Assyria is on 3, and Greece is just on 2, and Rome is on 2. Of course, laws can quickly be picked up very quickly. As we can see, Egypt has fallen. That's perhaps the biggest thing that's changed in the last 10 turns here. And wonder-wise, we have secured Ishtar. La Fluffy is going to have pyramids, lighthouse, and Apadana, and we are building ziggurat. Babylon has finished Hanging Gardens. Necropolis is on the board, as is Acropolis, and Mausoleum Museum is unfortunately not on the board, but I would have expected Frederik to have snagged it, because he's also strong in Pella already, and he's the one that is pioneering the science strategy that I'm trying to sort of crib off of what I've learned from playing with him. Cities by training, Ekbatana is with the double ore in great shape at 31. Shiraz is slowly coming on board over here at 12. Parsa is also at 12 with the miner coming on board. That should go up, as well as getting the Rex up as well. We'll want to pick up ranges as well at some point if we can, if we have tempo for it. I can see this game going long very quickly, and then everything else is pretty low. We're going to be focusing training in the Hunter cities for sure. Parsa, and then if we have tempo, Hatra, because Hatra has a pasture, but I think I want to at least get those cities fully online with racks and garrisons. The Zig will also help a lot for reducing costs of building things. Source of science, Parsa is currently leading. We are getting that second monastery up here, which will get us even more science in Parsa, and we'll get a monk going here as well, which will help quite a bit. So the Elder Specialist and the Monastery, as well as getting these up. That's another reason for going Orator, because I want to pump Specialists here and get everything up and running. Probably going to do the Monk first, realistically. We can Festival as well. Next turn will be pretty involved in terms of setting everything up. So that's pretty good. Family opinion. As I mentioned, everything's happy except for the Hunters have converted to Manchanism, and it's going to be a bit of effort to convert them back. We'll want to probably convert the youngest ones back and hopefully flip them back. The leader still is. The leader's only worth 2 points, so 3 points versus 2, so 1 conversion here. So it's 2 points for Judaism, then 1, 2, 3 for Manchism, and 1 for paganism. So if we convert one of these 2 back, we should be fine, but right now I'm trying to forestall the statesman from flipping by, I believe, converting her, which won't actually help the flip. That was actually a mistake. I should have flipped one of here, 1 or 2 of here, because then that would have been 2 points, 3. So I should always convert folks who already have a religion, because I don't think they'll convert naturally themselves once you have a religion, so there's no point converting folks who don't. So definitely want to keep an eye on family opinion and religion, but family opinion should be managed by just keeping everyone Jewish, and the clerics are pretty safe at this point. We've got 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points for Judaism versus 2 for pagans and 1 for Manchism, so just need to keep an eye on the Hunters and Statesmen, so should be fine there. We've been purging Christianity as it leaks into our lands as well, so we're pretty safe there. All right, let's take a look at graphs, family opinion. You can see the plunge here and Hunters converted, which is unfortunate because as an orator, we want those orders. Victory points, you can see the spike from 11 to 21 thanks to Ishtar. Resource prices, stone continues to be expensive. Food is crashing in price largely because I've been selling it because I have a lot of it, although I expect it to go back up. Iron is surprisingly going down as well, and wood continues its slow climb up. Territory explored, we haven't explored a lot, but we do have an agreement with Mojo to let my scouts pass through his territory. In fact, he has provided even some helpful advice on which way they should go. He's saying here, the west, head back towards Kem. I have no idea where Kem is. Okay, here, to the south. You need to go back west. There's a peninsula. You'll set up in front of the sea. Not reaching Babylon or Rome. Okay, I guess I know that part. This is the peninsula that sort of... I just want to get vision of what's going on over here, I think. And then this one, he says, just go straight north, and you'll hit Babylon. So that's great. We are not in a national alliance, but we are, I guess, at least truced for now, largely because I have a very easy march on Assyria, on his capital and his cleric city, should I so desire. This is going to be actually very hard for him to wall off. And once I have cataphracts, I can easily snipe his capital if so desired. Don't want to do that, but we're going to see how the game plays. Right now, he has somewhat awkwardly taken the position of protecting me from everyone. So I'm safe behind him, and it is in his interest to not have me attack his weak underbelly. But I do worry that Mojo has positioned himself in a way that Rome is going to have nowhere to go but into Mojo. Greece, I don't think, has a path into it, so might go into Babylon, and Babylon has nowhere to go but into Mojo. And Egypt is unfortunately probably dead and will not be around to see this because he's down to 3 cities, and looks like Rome is capturing. So yeah, I'm going to try to get eyes at what's going on there. That's another reason to prioritize for Cullis for the vision. We're going to have significant money issues next turn. So we are probably going to want to focus. Fortunately, we do have polis. We don't have forestry yet, but we do have polis, so we can start getting those hamlets up. Largely, probably we'll need to think about where we want to put those hamlets. I can definitely see like trying to set up a triangle, especially in Persia, with Odeons to really maximize the value of those hamlets. So we'll take a note to do that. Look at Odeon positioning hamlet Persia. Fix money. Yeah. So cool. And let's see here. Continuing graphs. Territory explored, military score. We have significantly improved our military by rushing these 2 out. We did not rush this turn because we had too many other things to do. And since we chose the orator area, we should be able to preserve the option to rush. But again, I really want to get those specialists up and get the city pumping science, especially get some wisdom on this leader. She's pretty young at 24. So especially if we can get some wisdom. Intelligent would be amazing because it's base science. But I will take basically anything that pumps up wisdom. 8 charisma is more than enough. I don't need more. More, of course, will be welcome here. I definitely kind of overbuilt charisma, but it's giving me a huge pile of civics, which is great there. I was going to do comparisons. Mojo is weaker and learned, which means he's ahead in tech. The tech goes primitive, naive, competent, learned, erudite. Frederik is weaker and competent. Fluffy is weaker and primitive. And Egypt is weaker and competent. So Fluffy is low tech, but lots of units. He was similar to me before I rushed out this, so he's just on the threshold of being equivalent. And it is important to keep in mind, I have a lot of my strength. It's fake strength because it is in these 6 strength units. They are going to die to champions, and Rome has champion units, as does Assyria. So my 2 proximate neighbors can both really destroy. So I'm actually not quite where I need to be army-wise, but I am getting warriors, and will likely want to get these macemen up and running as well. I'm getting phalanx so I can convert them into spearmen if so desired. Definitely want to get eyes on Fluffy's army and see what's going on there. I do have some intel that StBlak shared. It was primarily slingers and warriors. I think there may have been a chariot or 2 in there, and I've definitely seen chariots moving around from Mojo as well. Fluffy is, of course, only on 4 cities, so it makes sense that he's expanding aggressively. Really feel bad for StBlak getting sort of sandwiched, and then Assyria. I think StBlak was going to attack Assyria, then Fluffy attacked, and just horrible timing in terms of all those attacks. I'm sure, hopefully, you'll have heard some from their perspective as well. Let's keep going through graphs. Resource production. We have no wood production, and we're beginning to use more wood with the monasteries we're getting up. And then we've got our stone production up to 160. We are also going to have that dip because we have a delver, which is 20% extra stone output. That is going to go away for us. We are running slavery, so we are getting some more stone output, but we're going to drop in stone and iron production. Stone is so valuable in this game. You need everything to build stone. Stone unlocks urban buildings unlock specialists, which unlocks science. Stone is absolutely critical. Delver is such an amazing trait for an early leader because you just makes every mine and every quarry that much more impactful. So definitely going to be missing Delver. Would gladly pick it up on our late ruler if we do see it. It just streamlines the economy so much by giving you stone. Great Zig will help by reducing costs by 20%, which is also excellent as well. Frugal is amazing on a leader as well. It's another 20% that stacks additively. Frugal, Zig, and Governor, you basically pay minimum costs, which is amazing for improvements, especially in the capital where you want to focus. If I could take Frugal on every leader, I would. It is just that good and definitely criminally underrated. Stone production, yep, iron. We haven't built too many more mines. Food, pretty okay. It will also go up. Remember, as Persia, the units we're going to be building are cataphract archers, which take food and iron, and eventually horsemen into cataphracts themselves, which also take food and iron, and macemen, which take iron. So we need a lot of iron and a good amount of food to maintain that. Fortunately, we don't have too much of a wood dependency. We will want some lumber mills, just because we are going to want ranges and monasteries up. We're going to have 9 monasteries up. Each of them takes 2, so that's going to be drain 18. So we'd have to spend at least an order chopping every turn if we were standing on a forest. Of course, forests don't just happen to be around. You get them, you have to move to them. So it's actually pretty order intensive to do that. So forestry is pretty good, as well as, of course, the woodcutters getting science if you do choose to upgrade them. So definitely something to do here. But yeah, we're getting that critical point in the game where we're starting to see inflection points. I am probably most worried about Greece in the long run. Frederik is a very talented and skilled player. He is on 8 cities, which is more than enough to mount an attack. I can't do anything about Greece, and have been in diplomatic communication with Frederik. But Fluffy is also going to be very dangerous as Rome, and No Legs cannot be counted out as Babylon. And Mojo is Assyria, again, very dangerous as well. He's going to have 11 cities and has 12, 13 potential expansions here, maybe capturing another Egyptian city, so 14 cities. That's a lot of cities. Assyria is terrifying, largely because they do have a dip in power at the second unique unit level, because their unique unit kind of sucks. It's just a battering ram that is not really great in MP, because it's a siege unit that you can easily focus down with melee horse, which I am, of course, going to be building. And just as slow. I think that's the biggest issue with it. But once past that, like Assyria with cataphracts is freaking terrifying, because it starts with focus and they get orders on kill, and I think a 10 strength cataphract crit on you is just really bad. So we may reserve the right to, depending on the game shapes, but my forecast right now, with maybe 60-70% probability of certitude, is Mojo is going to get torn apart by Babylon and Rome. I should be able to dissuade Rome for coming to me. There's not a lot of front, and Mojo has just basically walked into Rome's side, so Rome will either play nice. There's no access that Rome has to Greeks here, so either Rome goes north and kills Greece, which is a possibility, and I think that's probably the best world for Mojo and me for that to happen, and we should definitely encourage Fluffy to go settle down, acquire Egypt once he does, and then attack Frederik. Because I'm definitely worried what happens if we leave Frederik alone in the late game, and I have no way of reaching him. So I'm going to need Babylon and Rome to take care of Frederik for me. Of course, I will, in a sort of France and Russia situation, be very, very friendly to Frederik, because conversely, he can attack Rome or Babylon as desired as well, which is in my interest as well. I don't really want Mojo to get torn apart by Rome and Babylon, because then I will have Rome and Babylon and 2 fronts that I don't want. So I want at least one front to be gently safe. And again, I have that march towards Assyria that I didn't attack early against Mojo. I could have potentially done some damage. I didn't want to, largely because he had champions, and I'm pretty sure my units would have gotten torn apart. And this is just terrible terrain. That would have been the world's slowest moving attack that you would have seen. And I had better orders to invest everything in. But definitely fascinating. This is the thing I love most about FFAs. You've got a lot of back and forth. Order economy, pretty great shape. We peaked at 39. We're down here after the hunters have dropped opinion. Hopefully we're going to get that back up and keep that growing. Money is going to be a problem. We are really running short on money, largely because I think part of it is upkeep. Is Orthodoxy is costing us 54, but it has given us a lot of rushing, but it is really expensive. That's a lot of money, as well as we are spending quite a bit on units. Those 6 strength units take 6 gold to turn, and we have 4 of them, so that's 24 gold, and then we have that 5 strength javelin in the air, where that I'm not going to upgrade, and the others I'm definitely not upgrading. I don't think it's worth disbanding, because I definitely want the 6 strength ones, and a unit is a unit, but it is costing quite a bit of money, as well as maintenance here. Apadana, distance from capital, quite a bit. So we definitely need to fix the money situation here. Lots of improvements as well in that city. So we do have a governor here with some money, but it's not a lot. Warlike is pretty good as well. So we should be able to get some production, hopefully of Macemen here soon, particularly Felix as well. So, been talking fast, there's a lot. We did Ishtar, which gave us a lot of points, which is making us look scarier than we are. I hope as people will look at the city count, or look at the sort of threatening of leaving Frederik alone count. So it's definitely going to be an interesting game here. We definitely need to focus on money. Science, we have massively improved our science situation. Just getting specialists up and running, very, very good. 51 science, and as well as getting more monasteries up. I want to raise that number way, way higher as well. Happiness, falling off a cliff culture as well. very, very quickly growing. Getting a lot of culture. Parsa, we are going to shoot for legendary there. Circus Maximus and Pantheon are both incredible wonders. Propolis would be wonderful if we can make it. That would be 6 base here. That's probably the next wonder we're targeting. I don't know that we're going for Mausoleum. I don't think I'm going to be able to just ride Culture Predictor. I'm going to need military. So focus on anything gives me civics and military. Circus Maximus is definitely going to be huge, but we will need to beat folks to legendary for that. You can no longer hover over the tooltip to see how close someone is or is not. Egypt is also going to, former Egypt is going to be giving a lot of culture to Rome, since it's already strong, but of course it'll start at weak when it starts out. So, all right, training. We are continuing to get training up as we went through the city training review. Civics production has been incredible. This is going to drop a bit with the Orator Leader, hopefully not too much, and growth is all right. National wealth, pretty good, 2,200. 6 specialists, much better here. Just 1 elder monk, so we definitely need more, but we're going to get an apprentice monk here, an apprentice officer here, and then likely we'll start, definitely start stuff here when we get racks up. And then probably going to just resource extract here and resource extract here, especially for that precious stone. Workers, we're at 19 workers. That doesn't seem right because I think it's okay. That counts. Okay, so it's really 14 with 15 right here. It's five workers for each family, which is about 3 cities, 5 workers. That seems pretty good. Mostly 2 to each city. Yeah, I think that's probably enough to do what we need in terms of orders. And then it's also counting the 5 disciples that I produced in that number. Don't anticipate producing more, so 2 for the legalism and revelation, and then 1 of each family to go around and build monasteries. So this one will go up here, and then this one will likely, this one will just chill here because this is the last monastery for hunters, and then this one's chilling here. Starting this one, and then we'll finish there. So we're almost done with our monastery construction. Temples, I don't know that I'll pick up Doctrine. I'm not going to have tempo. But depending on how strong we can make Parsa, potentially, we'll see. But focus on military first, because if you don't have military, you will fall over and die. That's the tension here. You want to balance as much econ as you can while not dying in military. We only produce 3, those 2 Peloton calves and a warrior, but we're going to have a bunch more warriors coming online here, which is pretty good. 3 more warriors. And that should be enough to hold the front. We can upgrade to Phalanx if needed. Got lots of training in the pile. Cleared some 6 camps, 5 laws, 15 techs, 6 courtiers, which is great, and 59 improvements, including 12 quarries, 8 mines, 6 farms, 8 pastures, and this right click closes that. So, and 3 shrines, and we're building our 4th shrine as well. Keep going back and forth on shrines and 4 monasteries and Ishtar, and 3 garrisons, 3 racks, need more. I keep going back and forth on the shrines. Paganism is not too hard to manage opinion-wise. There is a risk that some families will split. We are in the enviable position of having 2 religions, which means we have the double elder monk Parsa, which we'll definitely want to prioritize, which will really supercharge the culture growth here. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It was a long summary. Relative strengths, we've looked at everyone there. Interface intel, what can we tell about the Cognomen, the Glorious? Doomed as well, Assyria, 80 legit, so we should hopefully get to 80 legit ourselves. Frederik is the Able, which I don't think is that informative. A cognomen here. Yeah, it's just do stuff. And then the Mason, which I think is just build stuff. And then the Keystones are Egypt. Really sad to see you get eliminated early in an FFA. Always hurts. And then we briefly looked at the family tree. Everyone's pretty good here. So, all right. Excited about finishing the submission. Excited next turn for the new ruler. Should be really fun to play with. And really curious to see how this game shapes up. Mojo has sort of taken that central position in the map, which means he's liable to get attacked by Rome or Babylon. And then Frederik and I are sort of off in the corner. Frederik has some mountains defending him. I think has some negotiation with Babylon. He mentioned getting the 8th city site from Babylon, which means Babylon is probably going to go attack Mojo in the north, especially since Mojo is potentially distracted here. So we'll see. My prediction is Rome will turn around and attack Frederik, and then Babylon is going to attack Mojo. But we will see. I am hopeful that I can sort of get everything online. 10 more years, I'm going to be in really great shape if I can get online without having to defend maniacally against an attack. I will also want to build hamlets towards here to grab those horses, because I lost those horses. So sad to that border boost. Missed by a turn, and then we'll get vision here. So yeah, definitely want to get Parsa up. Feeling pretty good about sort of the science specialist strategy. Always learning, and we are definitely going to try to go for the, once we get a scholar in here, we will try to get a inquiry pump here, or at least a civics pump in general, because the city is going to be amazing, already at 27 science. But, sorry, 27 civics, but yeah. Pour one out here for Queen Khoraznim, the noble, eloquent. Eloquent is so amazing. 93 civics this a turn. Mystiforia as well is helping out here. 12 charisma. She's not long for this world, but man, she kicked ass. Hopefully her granddaughter Barsine can do a great job. And that is it for this sit rep. See you back on turn 51, as this game is really shaping up and looking to be pretty excited, as you can hopefully tell. And yeah, take care. Here's the turn 50 summary for Mojo. Plan's last 10 turns went well. The peninsula is secured and cities are connected. His new heir, star, Tiglath-Pileser, did also disappoint. He had hoped for a builder or a scholar, but RNG brought him a judge or a zealot. His leader is super old already and severely ill. The schemer order supply is really helping a lot. Diplomacy is heating up. Rome has a boat and 3 military units with whom he could easily have conquered the peninsula via the sea. Mojo reached out and figured out Rome's plan. It turned out that they went for Egypt. At the same time, Egypt was skirmishing against my cities, but had to back off. I then pushed back to capture Egypt's nearest city. He's worried about Persia's development. Securing the necropolis further plays into their econ strategy. Further, I think he means the ziggurat. Further, Persia's religion managed to infiltrate my nation, converting my patron leader and subsequently the whole family. He's having some issues with my religion bleeding into his empire. Larry say I am having the same issues, just the other way, with his religion bleeding into my empire. Here are the decisions Mojo reports. Capturing Egypt City instead of completing city expansion. He's going to complete city expansion in the next 10 turns to start focusing on military and city development. Wants to play a tolerant religious game using Judaism, my religion that spread into a city, to further boost my cleric cities. Let's see how that turns out. The commander's son was so successful on the battlefield that an event popped up suggesting he was the heir. Exactly the turn my leader is doomed. He did it, even though his orator leader might have prevented more orders. Couldn't spare the civics, better invested in serfdom next turn. Future plans, settle remaining sites, and build barracks and military. Let's take a look at some screenshots. You can see Kem, the formerly Egyptian city that Mojo took. That's why it's damaged. You can see some of the Persian lands there to the south. Here's his very old queen, who is doomed and will be dying on the next turn. Here is his eventual heir, the Prince Shamshi Adad, the bloodthirsty, brave, fierce, bitter commander. We're really terrifying on the military field. Science rate is up to 65, mostly coming from Assyria. Civics rate is at 111. Here's a view of the west. And the north, he's cleared out some more Vandal sites. And potentially was hoping to find another Vandal for that achievement. He's 4 out of 5. The north close to Babylon here. And he has graciously allowed one of my scouts there to pass through. That's why you see a Persian scout just chilling there. Records here. A couple specialists coming online. A couple improvements coming online, notably 8 quarries and 5 barracks. Military scores up to 1448. Growth, civics, training, culture, science at 63, money, orders at 39, food, iron, stone, wood, and there is Tiglath-Pileser, who became a zealot, which kind of sucks. This is a new line of succession. And he didn't have the civics to designate Shaditu as the heir, and got that event, as he mentioned, for the commander to be the heir instead. So, and here is his grandson, who won't have enough time to be the heir because the queen is doomed. That concludes the turn 50 report.
Hello, Fluffybunny here, back with a turn 50 check-in in the FFA game. We have launched our attack on Egypt, the much vaunted attack. We've taken Waset, their capital, without too much resistance. We have now moved on to Zhao, and we are now starting to meet some stiffer resistance. We're losing a few units. They've got a light chariot out in their capital, which is stronger than anything I've got. So yeah, this is starting to get to be more of a fight. Egypt is not bowing over quite as easily as I'd hoped, but we've got the supply lines. We can build units faster than they can. I think we're probably all right. We probably ought to be building more units in these cities than we are. Well, we've got 3 chariots on the go. Augusta could maybe be doing a slinger. Might not be a terrible idea. What's it doing at the moment? Pearls, which we've already got. Yeah, that's not really a priority, is it? Let's take another slinger. Maybe even rush it. Feels a little bit silly. Yeah, maybe we won't rush it just yet. But yeah, so we have got another city. We're up to 5 cities. We've also got the pyramids, the lighthouse, and the Epidana. So yeah, we just captured the pyramids and we've just finished building the lighthouse. So we shot up to 14 points. Persia has just finished Istar, so they've shot up massively in points, and they're now building the ziggurat as well. So they are the point leader, but we're coming up. In terms of graphs, let's have a look, see how we're doing. We've got 14 specialists, still very poor. We've only got 1 urban specialist. Our science is absolutely terrible. 33 science turn. I think we are the least educated nation in the game, which is not great. But we have got a great economy at least. The economy's doing really well. We're very rich. We've now lost 4 units, most of them in this Egypt fight. I think we've lost 3 to the Egypt fight. In fact, it might well be all of them, in fact. Still only adopted 2 laws, 11 techs. Stat-wise, I don't think any of these are too interesting, so I'm going to skip through them. Culture's just shut up massively with the acquisition of Waset and the Wonder finishing. Science, like I said, yeah, it's really not good. We're going to need to work on that if and when we ever manage to finish up Egypt. The one thing that we are doing well for is money. So we're, got nearly double the income of 10 turns ago. Orders, we're doing all right for 28 a turn. It's not exceptional, but it's not terrible either. And our income is going pretty well, apart from food. All the same, just waiting for Rome to get to be strong. We can start building some strong wonders. The only non-strong wonder left is Necropolis, which we don't particularly want. It's not very exciting. Mill score 1838. We've suffered a little bit. We're a lot stronger than we were 10 turns ago, but we've suffered a little bit of a downturn. We're losing a couple of units. Territory, and we're finally up to 5 cities. We still haven't really explored anywhere. Resource prices, stones going up, and yeah, family opinion is not great. So Claudius, I think, has actually dropped down to -1 this turn. Claudius is the landowners. Julius is not too bad. Yeah, -4 in fact, because we were relying on them having most cities, and we've just given Waset to the champions, so they're not too happy about. But the Fabius are pretty happy. Unfortunately, that is the landowner general, so we can take a little bit more damage there. So I think that's all the graphs. Heir-wise, we've got a 10-year-old heir who's just become a politics student. We have also another son, 9-year-old, my sister, in the succession. Sister is a educated corrupt judge. Yeah, and we are at 9 discipline tactician. So yeah, that's where a lot of our money's coming from. We're also getting huge amounts of XP on this unit. The slinger, who's doing good work stunning units. Just got this spear stunned here. Just pumping out units. Gonna keep working on Egypt. Just the 2 laws. Tech-wise, we are. What have we got recently? Let's have a look at the history timeline screen. So yeah, we picked up spoke wheel, which we put to good use. Built a lot of chariots. Divination, which we have done nothing with. Polis, which we're on our way to forestry, but we've got distracted by military drill, just to try and get some officers out, get some science up. Would be really good. Picked up a couple of ambitions. We didn't have any choice about this one because we owed the oligarch a favour, so we had to take 6 treasuries, which is going to be a little bit of a slow burner, seeing as we only have 5 cities, that we only have 4 till this turn. 1,000 iron will be a lot quicker though, because we are getting 141 iron a turn, so that will finish very quickly. I think that wraps about everything that is worth talking about here. So yeah, future plans. It's going to be a bit of a slog, unfortunately. Finishing off Egypt is going to take longer than I hoped. They have put up quite an admirable defense here. So yeah, going to spend a while taking these guys out. And then we're going to be just really, really behind. We're going to have to try and catch up in science. I think we're probably just going to have to chill at that point and try and do some diplomacy to stay relevant in the game, because yeah, we're just going to be so far behind on science. Anyway, that wraps it up for now. Till next time.
And turn 50 in our free fall. We have been trucking along, still holding all the territory. Our deal with Nolex here paired out. I got my city. He has been expanding eastward, although he mentioned that Mojo Assyria is also settled north, so he's probably expanding into this area. He got 1 more city since that time. He's on 7 now. So yeah, internally we are building our specialists in here as we want to do. We are closing the gap here with hamlets to eventually build our wisdom shrines surrounded by courthouses eventually, but that's still quite a ways away. Probably not. You won't be seeing that even in another 10 turns. So yeah, discontent has been increasing. It will be tanking our science. It's not bringing up the theater and amphitheater online earlier. Kinda doesn't help us here. I did not put any luxuries in here. Right, the only one goes in here. The others are still in production. One is coming online in 3 turns, 1 in 4 turns. Putting these in here to keep this further in check. Yeah, these are keeping it in check a bit. Yep, in here I picked up a stone cutter to maybe expand our borders outward here, maybe build a colossus here, but these 2 workers will be busy. Despite there being some other good tiles to build stuff around here, I need to bring him down to start building an Odeon. I can't wait for the next hamlet to finish. I need to focus on this if I want to get anywhere here. Here our builder died early, so we assigned the judge that we got randomly for our champion family. Military family judge is always extremely good. I got a bunch of cash from an event, basically a few hundred golds per city for a bit of discontent in my pagan cities. I only have 1 pagan city, so I gladly took the trade, even though that's part of the discontent you can see here. But that money we'll be pouring that into our champion seat and get 2 master officers out of this, maybe even an Olympiad. I've built 1 ship to try and get to a city site that has been relayed to me that's here. But unfortunately, the ship spawned in that 1 tile up north, despite the city being down here and the urban tiles being down here. So I'm building a 2nd ship. As long as this ship blocks this tile, it is forced to spawn somewhere down here. So we're getting it out there. I was fearing that, I'm not sure if I can get this still. Nolex knows by now about it, since he has been raided from there. It's another Vandal camp. Rome does have ships out. That information has been relayed to me by Assyria, but Rome is currently busy killing Egypt. According to alcaras, Assyria is also joining in on the war front, but I'm not sure. I mean, he has tons of cities. He's on 12 cities. He's rising up to be the biggest threat. But if Fluffy on his Rome gets a few more cities, he will also be dangerous since he has been hoarding wonders quite a bit. So he will have tons of money to invest in officers. He can get his laws online, although I'm not sure how dangerous legions will be. Although if we get no ranged units, they will be quite dangerous still. So otherwise, let's take a quick peek at the timeline. Rome finished the lighthouse. We got rhetoric, steel, and was polis, navigation, and drama. There's all the wonders, some more theologies for the world religions. Finished an ambition, picked up this ambition. This ambition also got me my third trade, Pathfinder. Lots of the nets are still to be built, but we have a decent amount of nets around to make use of Pathfinder, so that's a decent trade to have. I got 2 wisdom on through getting Mysteries Leader. And also our brother, half-brother, he has been randomly getting wisdom. The characters can randomly lose or gain stats depending on where they're at. And he has been gaining, I think, 2 points randomly and 1 from an level up. So he's now giving us quite a lot of growth. We can't push him to 100, unfortunately, for another 50% bonus, because bypassed is too big a modifier. Like even an intercession will only put us at 90 here, so it's not happening. Yeah, we got only 1 kid again. Hopefully we can get 1 more, but we are reaching the age where we can be coming further. Starts at 39, I think. So yeah, very much low on royal family members. If you remember, she was adopted too from our schema. So yeah. Then if we're looking around, I have Christianity now. I'm not sure if that was there 10 turns ago. And with the growth, we can probably invest in some disciples to spread it, but I don't have the civics to like grab it as state religion. Yeah, but then we have still a commander here, still alive and kicking. He got 2 kids that are still very young. There's an orator that's in his prime, but Egypt is probably not going to stay around for too long. Persian leader is dying and has another orator lined up. A young orator with already amazing stats. Then this schema is also dying, and he has a designated commander that's already pretty old lined up. It's like probably because he's fighting. That's some pretty annoying stats to fight into. Then Fluffy has a young tactician that's also old. 9 discipline. Wow. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, and that's me. So then let's look at the stats. We are pretty wealthy, thanks to that event. Mainly getting some more specialists online, especially some more officers. Also starting to produce units, mainly warriors for now. I do have X-Men unlocked, but I'm not that much iron, which I'm working on fixing, but I'm also just waiting with upgrading. So yeah, 18 techs. Here's our improvements, focusing on quarries mainly, as well as some of the special resources. But now we're also switching, getting 2 mines. Maybe I even need to get like another worker or so. But I don't. Yeah, I need the specialists too, so it's hard. Then graphs. Family opinion, we are kind of holding. Not really happy, but working. Food is getting sold a lot, unsurprisingly. R is also getting sold somewhat. Stone is getting bought a bit. Slowly going up, but we can spike. I mean, we can turn our other resources into iron and just upgrade our warriors, so I can run a increase here should anyone threaten, like Fluffy anchoring some ships, or Nolex moving in. Wood keeps going down. Stone increasing this a lot. Food stagnating, although there will be some special resources coming online in our newest city. Orders this was the big drop from our leader dying. Here we got navigation online, and then some just a bit fluctuation from our workers, but I have been investing in all the garrison and all the resources that give us orders, so I've been working on increasing that. Then money going down and coming up now a bit as we're getting some of our special resources online, especially with our Pathfinder. We should make good on that. Science going up quite a bit. We've been increasing our wisdom and added some extra specialists, so that's going up again. Happiness going down in general. That's and here it's not much training. Yeah, training is spiking since we're building officers and Olympiads. I have quite a lot of training banked. Happy to invest that into promotions instead of letting it overflow into orders. But yeah, civics, not much going on here. It's yeah, those are the spikes from our characters getting extra wisdom. High wisdom chancellor is pretty valuable. So quick peek at the tech tree. That's the wrong button. I want to go this. So we're still very much down here. I'm debating where the priorities lie. Babylon is still consolidating. Fluffy is still busy down south, though I can be more greedy. Problem is I can't really. The other thing would be getting the laws up for Phalangites to have a strength 8 unit. So maybe we'll pick up this earlier. But we have to see what gets offered. I did pass up Portcullis, I think. What did I grab? Grab earlier. Deal in now. No matter. Depending on what comes up, I'll have to see. Just battle line is just a safe choice, getting a strength 6 anti-infantry unit to like face both either Babylon's or Rome's unique units if they should show up, and then going towards libraries and stirrups with some extra laws on the side, but we're lacking for civics anyway. So, yeah. Just in econ mode as where I like to be. And that should be it. don't want to drag this out much longer. We have our scouts moving now that we have more orders to spare, but I don't see that much. Looking to go to truce with Mojo again once the schema dies, so the religion doesn't hate us anymore, or doesn't. So we get rid of this negative opinion modifier. Also talking with Nolex about going to peace, since you can actually get some extra trade income if you're at peace and have a visible connection, but you do need scouting information for that. So I'm having a second scout here, building even a third scout up here, so I can clear up the fog here, which is also, I need to do this for my ambition anyway, so works out well. Yeah. We are sitting back, building up, and let's see what happens. See you in another 10 turns.